Hello, my friends. What's going on? Another day out and about. So today we're trying something new. I got the new Insta360 Ace Pro 2 up here on the good old windscreen, and I'm gonna see what it's like shooting at 8K. I got the audio coming out of my headset right here, so we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll talk about what I just watched on the old YouTube. The guy was talking about riding aids, you know, and I think that I think every motorcycle made today has them in some sort. The question is, do we need them? Some will say that the third wheel on this thing is a riding aid, because it does made by the factory and keeps you from falling over. So does that actually count? I don't know. But you know, I think now most brands ABS is kind of built in. Traction control, rain mode, and the experts' opinions on this program were basically like, they've always been around in one form or another, and some of them were more to refine the idiosyncrasies of a specific motorcycle, because apparently back in the day, before my time, they all had their little quirks, you know, like you could have a motorcycle that had a very odd torque curves. There would be like a flat spot at some point, you know, and if you were zipping around, and you know, it would flatten off and then go like almost vertical. So if you weren't aware, and it might catch you and make you go high side. But you know, if you think about it, it's like, I guess it's more generally, it's just like these riders' aids. It's more as like the march of electronic technology. You know, I don't know how much the physical technology has changed. I mean, it's always been tweaked, either at the factory or, you know, gear wrench heads, whatever you want to call them. You know, people have always been messing with their motorcycles. That's a given. It's definitely in the age of electronics that things have moved way past the realm of the shade tree mechanic. And I can't really tell you for better or for worse. That's a hard call, you know. Some of us didn't start riding until these things were well implemented. So I can't really, on a personal level, compare and contrast before and after. You know? But to paraphrase what the guy was saying during this program, was the lack of riding aids for the guys that had mastered their machines. You know, it was a sign of pride, I would guess, and it's like, and definitely a plateau. It's just like to say that I'm better than you. You know, lots of silly things too, like advancing the spark, because it should be at like 0 degrees when you start, then up a little forward as it warms up, and then all the way forward later on, etc., etc., and things like that. And that was a bar of entry. If you didn't know how to do that, you wouldn't even get your thing started, let alone ride it. You know, some of the technology has just simply made life so much easier for everybody. You know, I've had a car or two that did not have power steering. That's not fun. Going from drum brakes to disc brakes, you know, technology will keep going. They ain't gonna stop it. But I think the bar he was talking about more was basically taking you out of the operation of the machine. You know, if you have to sit there and feather your clutch and your throttle to keep from stalling, you know, when your back tire's stuck, or from spinning it out, well, that's a skill, and now you can just hit a button that takes you out of the equation. So you're stuck. Okay, well, just hit the gas, and the good old machine will figure it out for you. Then you got others that don't like the interference. You know, I've had many comments about this thing with the VSS. They don't like the nanny. They're of the mind that I bought it, I'm gonna risk it, so it shouldn't even be on there. It should, or at least should be disabled. When I want to put my put myself into fun mode, and you want to get squirrely, you want to get silly. I guess they do have a point. You know, if I was going to speak as a lawyer, which I'm not, but if I was, be like, if I took it away or gave you the option, and you didn't turn it back on, and you got hurt, then you're going to come after me, the manufacturer. And trust me when I say that, you know, I think a lot of the things that people want has been squashed by lawyers. Because, you know, it doesn't cost anything to sue anybody. So, you know, and if that's just the way it is, and someone does something stupid, you know, it puts you out of business. So, you know, these companies have to do that with that mentality in mind. A simple example of this is gas cans. Probably one of the simplest things in the world. It's either metal or plastic. You know, probably. You know, if you made a gas tank out of glass, that's probably not the best move. But, you know, you got idiots that decide to build a campfire. Oh, it went out, and then pour gasoline on it and burn themselves or blow themselves up, and now it's the gas tank's fault because you used it incorrectly. I'm sorry, guys, but that makes no sense to me. But that's why you buy a gas tank. There's 6,000 warnings on it. Same thing with ladders. You know, they just, you know, we've litigated common sense out of common parlance. So we're stuck with the world that they have created. I would say that most of the features on your motorcycles today, especially like things like ride modes, etc., you could turn them on, you could turn them off. So I guess it's not that intrusive. You know, I don't think the safety things are. I haven't really come across any time that like you could shut the ABS off. I know some models of bike you could, it's an option to have it installed or not. I don't know what to tell you. And I think the probably the biggest insult to injury now is that automotive manufacturers now are putting in features and making you pay for it. I mean, not for nothing, guys. If you're paying tens of thousands of dollars for a vehicle, and then, oh, look, it could do this, it could do that, and then all of a sudden, after 5 months or 6 months, that feature just shuts off. and I got to pay the company to reconnect it. That's ballsy, guys. That's ballsy. And of course, you know, being consumers, we're just going to sit there and take it. I don't like it. I think it's a bad move. I think it's bad faith. Thank God Can-Am's not doing that. But just imagine, like, you have CarPlay installed. You bought a brand new 2025. It's got CarPlay, it's got this, it's got that, and then all of a sudden it just shuts off. Oh, give us another, not even like a small amount, like ridiculous amounts of money for what you're getting. $2,000 for software that's already on the machine. You don't have to take it anywhere, it's already on there. Man, that's just BS. And like I said, the technology in of itself is, I think it can do a world of good. I definitely, I'm of the mind that it's better to have than not. You know, now you can get the, you know, your bike tells you what the tire pressure is. So now you just hop on and it tells you your pressure's good. And I guess they're fairly accurate. Accurate, you know, accurate enough. The biggest problem people have with the technology is when it doesn't work, not when it does work. Because if something physical breaks, you have a socket set, you have a screwdriver, you have a wrench, you could probably fix it. You know, if it bolts on, you could take it off. And depending on your skills and what you have around, if it cracks, maybe you could weld it. If you have the skill, or you have friends that have skills, and it's not that critical. You know, you break a weld, maybe you have the technology, the talent to re-weld it. Yeah, your electronics go south. I mean, on one hand, you could just swap it out. Not the most difficult thing to do. I mean, I wish it was that easy with the problems with the VSS on the trikes. Unfortunately, they need to be calibrated, which means you need their computer, you need their software. So it's not a question of, oh, this part just failed, just replace it, which would be so easy. But no, we don't have that luxury. Of course, then when you went from carburation to an EFI, that opened up a whole different world. Because even to, you know, you want to up your performance, put in new parts, you still have to reprogram the computer. Whereas if, you know, I haven't done it, so maybe I'm talking out my ass, but if you did that same modification, you know, put new intakes, new exhaust, new this, new that, you just rejet the carb. I believe that's how you would do it. I mean, personally, I actually don't know how good, and you could tell me in the comments if you use them or not, but the stuff that came equipped on your motorcycles, do you actually use it? Is it worth it? I think that's a valid question. You know, there are guys with the, you know, that was it on, especially on the Rykers, you know, sport mode, rally mode, eco mode. Yeah, have you guys ever actually, like, is anyone still using eco mode? I don't know. I've personally, I've never used it. Shifting gears is not that difficult. And on the Ryker, I think it's, I swear to God, it's got to be entirely pointless on the Ryker, because the gas mileage on that thing sucks. But you didn't buy it to get 50 miles per gallon. So, and if you did, You're silly. You're just silly. And I think that one's that thing right there was strictly a point A to point B affair. I don't know why you were so there were better options than the Ryker for gas mileage. Even the gas mileage on this thing sucks. But I mean, with a bigger gas tank, it does I guess it does even out. You know, when I go on group rides, I'm not the guy flagging down the leader to or the road captain to go, I need gas. I'm not doing this. Dog training classes today, huh? I personally believe in the concept of right to repair, because these guys, like, you know, they make it. I know I'm backtracking, but they're making these assemblies that you can't even buy the parts to fix it. Even, you know, you could take them apart, but they won't provide instructions, service manuals. It's just, oh, your transmission's broke. Okay, just replace the transmission entirely. $2,000, $3,000 to replace the transmission. Oh, okay. But what was wrong with it? Oh, just this little plunger, this little actuator. It's a $15 part. Shit. And obviously everyone's entitled to their opinions. Going back to my previous video too, I honestly don't mind people, you know, factories putting stuff I need or don't need, as long as it's reliable, as long as it's reasonably cheap to fix or replace. You know, it's bad enough that they're putting you in debt just to buy the damn thing. Why are we making people compound the problem? So I guess, as you can tell, I personally, I mean, more is better, but don't charge me and make it reliable. If you nail those two things, I'm down with whatever you want to put on my my gear. I don't have a problem with it, but don't charge me extra just to use it. You know, if I got to pay for it to get it, that's one thing. No subscriptions, and make sure it's it works. And then I guess the third thing is make it user repairable. I don't think any of these are asking too much. I really don't. So, like I said, agree, disagree. It is what it is. You know, if you do agree or disagree, you know, just put in the comments. Let me know. If you think I got something wrong, chime in. And I guess that's it for today, guys. So, you know, and if you made it this far, if this looks better than it used to, if it sounds better than it used to, once again, let me know. And just keep on keeping on, please. Please tell me it looks better, so I didn't waste my $500. Okay, you know, you can lie to me. I'm fine with that. All right, so ride safe, guys. See you next time. Bye bye.